Today, I'm going to show you how to create Fleamont Potter's Sleekeazy hair potion. The things we'll need to create our Sleekeazy's hair potion is one dropper bottle, and I am using a plastic one that I got from a friend who works in a pharmaceutical company, but I will put a link to a similar one in the description down below, or you could use a glass dropper bottle. Then we're going to need an assortment of alcohol inks, so we're going to use the pitch black alcohol ink that we used for Doxyside, as well as a silver alcohol ink and a cool gray alcohol ink. And the silver and the cool gray are part of the Hobby Lobby brand of alcohol inks, and I found that they work really well. But I'll put a link to some in the description down below that'll be a similar one, probably will be Tim Holtz versions. And then we're going to use an alcohol ink stamper, and I am using the rectangle one from Tim Holtz as well as the felt pads that come with it. I will also be using some foil to protect my work surface as well as some gloves to protect my hands. And then we will need our label printed on sticker paper, and the link for this is in the description down below. Let's get started. Would you like a chance to win a potion like this? Then consider supporting me over on Patreon. All of my patrons have a chance to win a monthly potion bottle. Link is in the description down below. The first thing we're going to do is do our alcohol ink finish to the bottle. So I wanted this bottle to have a different look than some of the other ones we've done. Plus, I wanted to give you guys an option of a plastic bottle, especially if you want to use this for a cosplay or something like that. Sometimes glass is not always the best option for that, and I wanted to give you an option with some plastic bottles and how to make them look cool. So we're going to do that with the alcohol inks. Now, I've shown you the dripping version of how to use alcohol inks on glass with our Doxyside potion, and I'll put a link to that up above here as well as at the end of the video. And in that video, I also show you how you can seal the alcohol inks. You really won't need to seal them on this plastic one unless you're going to be around a lot of water or alcohol or something that could ruin the finish of your bottle, and in that case then definitely seal it. And like I said, I show in that video the items to seal it with as well as how to do it. But for this, for just a prop version or anything like that, you won't need to seal it. It's going to dry really quickly and it won't smear or anything, and we'll just have this really great finish on our bottle. So since I showed you the dripping version before, I'm going to show you how we can do the stamper with the alcohol ink on this one. And we're going to use two different techniques. So the first thing we're going to do is take our little stamper here, which is just a wood block that they have put Velcro on, which you could definitely make, but honestly, if you have a coupon at Michael's, it's going to be way cheaper to just buy it than even to get the supplies and make it. Now, I do make my own felt pads once I run out of the ones that came with the stamper initially. And that's really easy. You just go get felt. I like, the regular felt, not a super thick one. And then you just cut it into rectangles. And then you're good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take some of our black alcohol ink. And it's important anytime you use alcohol ink, you always want to shake them up before you use it, just to make sure that all of the pigments and everything are mixed together and you don't get any weird coloration. So all we're going to do is put a few drops here on our stamper. And for the black one, it doesn't really matter how we do it because we're going to be doing a swirling motion. So for this, we're going to take our bottle and we're just going to do a swirling motion, which will almost give us a tie-dye marbly effect on here. All around the bottle and even up on the neck of the bottle. But we're not going to do anything to the actual top of the bottle with the little stopper because I want to keep that the crisp white, and then my little silicone portion of mine is a light gray color, and I want to keep that as well. If it was a black, I would do the same thing. I would keep it the color that it is. But as you can see, we're getting a really cool finish on the bottle. That's just going to be our base coloring because we're going to go over it with the silver and the light gray and do a stamping effect. Now, as you can see, a little ink goes a very long way. So you shouldn't have to redo this, but make sure you get all the way around this bottom edge. And you could totally do the whole bottom as well, especially if you're going to use this for a cosplay and the bottom is going to be seen. Then definitely hit the very bottom too. And then like I said, we're going to do this top edge. So I'm going to hit this. And if you can't get all the way up, we can also use a paper towel or another type of cloth to just kind of make sure we can hit all the little crevices that maybe it can't. And for this one, I'm actually going to be peeling off the felt pad, and I'm going to use the felt to get into those other areas. And this is another reason why I am wearing the gloves, because this would be all over my hands, and then I would have black alcohol ink on my hands for several days. And I am going all the way up the threading, because when the stopper comes on this one, it actually shows a little bit of the threading, which I actually kind of like. But again, I don't want that threading to be stark white when the rest of the bottle is colored. Okay, make sure you don't have any areas that you want to cover. And if you do, just re-go over them. And then we're going to just let this dry for a couple minutes. And then we're going to show you how to do the stamping on top of it. Okay, so now that that's dry, we're going to take our cool gray and silver alcohol inks, and similarly to the black alcohol ink, we are just going to put some on our stamper. However, this time I'm going to be making just a few dots on my stamper of each color. Especially with metallic ones, make sure that they are shaken up, because they're using a mica powder as well. And if you don't shake it up, you're not going to get the full pigmentation and mica on there, because it's all going to be sitting on the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, I just kind of made a design. Doesn't matter how you want to do it. It just depends on how much silver and how much cool gray or whatever colors you're using you want to actually use. And then all we're going to do is take our stamper, and we are going to stamp our bottle. And what that's going to do is it's going to lift some of the black while we do it and blend it in. And it's going to start to muddle, because as you can see, it kind of changes our stamper, the design. And we're going to end up with a very metal looking bottle on a plastic surface, which I really like. And I really love the metallic alcohol inks. I think they just add something special. And I love the alcohol inks in general, but the metallic ones are just really, really cool. But that black base gives us a nice background for that silver and cool gray to shine and let just a little bit of that black through. And as it sits, it'll kind of continue to change a little bit too until it completely dries. And then again, up here, I'm going to try to stamp it with the stamper, but then I'm going to again remove the pad, and I'm going to go ahead and do my top threads. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that the sides all look exactly the way I want them to before I remove the pad off of the stamper. And I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to take this off so that we can do the top and the threads. And yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. And if there's any sections you don't like, you can just go back and try to hit them with your stamper. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then I'll show you how we're going to finish this up. Okay, so I waited just a few minutes, and as you can see, it is completely dry. So at this point, I am going to show you how we're going to finish this one off. So this one is super easy, but looks really complex, and I think that's part of why I really like it. So we're going to put our little stopper on here. And now that that's on, you can kind of see how we're going here. And then we're going to take our potion label that, again, I like to print on sticker paper, and I go around the outside edge with a matching marker. And we're going to attach this to our bottle. And for those of you who don't know what Sleekeazy's hair potion is, that might be because you didn't read the books. It's actually what Hermione used before the Yule Ball to get her hair nice and straight and not bushy like it normally is. I know in the movies it's not super bushy, but in the books it definitely is. And It was actually created by Fleamont Potter, who is Harry Potter's grandfather. So it's James Potter's dad. And that's actually how Harry and James had as much money as they did, and how James didn't have to work, or Lily for that matter, and they were able to just work with the order, is because they had the Potter fortune from Sleekeazy's hair potion. And he actually sold the company and was able to quadruple the amount of gold in his vault, which is why they were pretty well off. Now, the Sleekeazy's brand also has a scalp balm, and I'm going to be doing a version of that in the near future. And for those of you who have been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you may have noticed an advertisement that shows Sleekeazy's hair potion right there in Diagon Alley. And that, again, is a nod to Harry Potter and Fleamont Potter. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So like I said, this one is super easy. So once the label's on, there you have it. Our Sleekeazy hair potion, a scalp treatment for all hair types. 2 drops will tame even the most bothersome barnet. And this would be available in Diagon Alley or anywhere where hair care products would have been sold. And I'm sure it could be brought by Post. Now, if you guys were going to use this in a cosplay costume, I would recommend filling it with just water, or you could even put just some sand in there if you wanted it to have a little bit of weight. But I love that this one can just be left empty. But I love that this one will look really great on our shelf with our potion and prop collection we've been making along the way. And like I said, look forward to me coming out with some Sleekeazy's scalp balm in the future. And if you guys like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.